Pause in the middle of the day and let this prayer make room inside you. You can keep praying without chasing proof. You do not have to turn every hour into an investigation. You do not have to keep asking the world to prove that God heard what you said in secret. There is a kind of checking that slowly exhausts the soul, checking for signs, checking for messages, checking for emotional confirmation, checking whether the person changed, whether the door moved, whether the outcome shifted, whether the feeling finally arrived. The heart wants reassurance, and that desire is understandable. But constant proof chasing can make prayer feel like a transaction instead of a place of communion. Revelation 8:4 gives this midday prayer a calmer picture. The prayers of God's people rise before Him. Faithful prayer is not lost. Your prayer is not wandering around looking for a destination. It is not weak because it was quiet. It is not invalid because you still feel human after praying. It rises before God. Think of bread dough resting under a cloth. From the outside, it looks still. No one watching it every 30 seconds makes it rise faster. The hidden work needs warmth, time, and covering. Prayer can be like that. Something real may be happening in a covered place, but anxious inspection cannot make the work holy. It often only makes the waiting harder. Lord, meet this listener in the pressure of midday. They may have prayed this morning and already started looking for proof by lunch. They may be tired of needing reassurance. They may be ashamed that trust still feels difficult. Meet them with compassion, not scolding. Teach them a steadier way. Help them keep praying with open hands. A prayer that says, Lord, I trust you with what I cannot verify right now. A prayer that says, I will do what is mine to do, and I will not make myself responsible for what only you can hold. A prayer that says, I can be honest about my desire without turning desire into control. If the listener is waiting for a response from someone, guard their peace from constant checking. If they are waiting for direction, guard them from forcing meaning out of every small event. If they are waiting for healing, guard them from despair when the process is slower than they hoped. If they are waiting for provision, give wisdom and practical help without letting fear become the ruler of the day. We do not ask for a faith that never feels tension. We ask for faith that knows where to bring the tension. Faith that can whisper a prayer and then return to the next task. Faith that can ask again without panic. Faith that can wait without accusing God. Faith that can admit, I want to see something, and still say, I am held while I wait. Lord, separate prayer from superstition. Do not let the listener treat every delay as a hidden punishment or every coincidence as a command. Ground them in your word, wise counsel, patient discernment, and peace. Let them seek you more than they seek signs. Let them love your presence more than they love certainty. Bless the next practical step. If they need to work, help them work. If they need to rest, help them rest. If they need to make a call, give clarity. If they need to stop refreshing a screen, give courage. If they need to ask for help, lead them to the right person. If they need to wait, make the waiting less crowded with fear. Lord, bless the prayers that have become familiar through repetition. The one for family, the one for guidance, the one for healing, the one for a door, the one for peace, the one for a person who keeps making choices that hurt themselves, the one for strength to keep going. Let familiar prayers not feel stale. Let them be like footsteps on a well-worn path to your presence. If the listener feels no emotional confirmation, remind them that feelings are not the receipt for prayer. If their body is still tense, remind them that they can keep receiving peace in layers. If their mind is still noisy, remind them that returning to you again is not failure. It is practice. We surrender the demand for immediate evidence. We surrender the belief that peace cannot begin until proof arrives. We surrender the habit of asking the next notification to carry the weight of God's faithfulness. We surrender the pressure to know by this afternoon what may only become clear with time. We surrender the little tests we create when we are afraid. If God heard me, this will happen before the end of the day. If I am loved, they will answer exactly this way. If I am on the right path, I will feel no uncertainty. Lord, free the listener from tests that you did not assign. Teach them to seek wisdom without turning every hour into a courtroom. We surrender comparison with other people's prayer stories. Someone else may have received a quick answer, a visible sign, a clear door, or a public testimony. Bless them. But do not let the listener use another person's timeline as a weapon against their own faith. Your care is personal. Your wisdom is not copied and pasted from one life to another. We surrender the fear that calm waiting means weak faith. Sometimes faith looks like bold asking. Sometimes faith looks like quiet endurance. Sometimes faith looks like going back to work after prayer because God has not asked you to stop living while you wait. Let the listener honor the form of faith needed for this hour. We surrender the pressure to make prayer feel impressive. No special tone is required. No dramatic language is required. No public performance is required. The listener can pray in plain words. They can pray with a tired voice. They can pray while unsure. The prayer belongs before God because the heart has turned toward Him. Lord, help them notice when proof chasing is becoming a substitute for trust. If checking leaves them more anxious every time, give them courage to pause. If searching for signs keeps them from doing the next faithful thing, give them focus. If asking for reassurance has become endless, lead them into the deeper comfort of your presence. Let midday become a reset instead of a verdict. The morning may not have brought the proof they wanted. The afternoon may still be unfinished. But this hour can still be holy. This breath can still be received. This task can still be done with grace. This prayer can still rise before you. Protect them from spiritual manipulation, even inside their own thoughts. Let them not believe that one missed devotional, one distracted prayer, one anxious moment, or one tired afternoon has canceled your care. You are not petty with your children. You are patient, truthful, and near. Give them a healthier rhythm for the rest of the day. Pray, listen, obey what is clear, release what is not, return when anxiety rises, and refuse to turn waiting into self-punishment. Let that rhythm be simple enough to practice even while life is busy. Let this rhythm touch the body too. When the hand reaches for the phone again, let the listener pause and ask, is this wisdom or fear? When the chest tightens, let them breathe before deciding what the tightness means. When the mind starts building a conclusion from one small detail, let them slow down and return to what is actually known. Lord, give them permission to live today while prayer is still pending. They can laugh without betraying the request. They can eat without ignoring the burden. They can focus on work without abandoning the person they are praying for. They can enjoy a small mercy without proving they have stopped caring. Life with you is allowed to continue in the waiting. If they have been using proof chasing to avoid grief, meet the grief underneath. Maybe they keep checking because they are afraid to feel the sadness of not knowing. Maybe they keep searching because surrender feels like losing. Sit with them in that honest place. Let comfort go deeper than the habit. And if there is real action to take, make it plain in a calm way. Your guidance does not need to imitate panic. It can arrive as steady conviction, wise counsel, an open door, a closed door, or a simple next step that remains clear after prayer. Teach the listener to trust peace without demanding spectacle. Until that clarity comes, let them practice quiet faith in small increments. 10 calm minutes, 1 honest task, 1 prayerful pause, 1 refusal to let fear supervise the afternoon. Replace proof chasing with presence. Let the listener become attentive to you in ordinary things. A quieter breath, a wise pause, a boundary kept, a task completed, a kind word, a moment when they did not spiral as far as they used to. These small mercies do not have to explain everything. They can still be received. Protect them from people who use spiritual language to pressure quick certainty. Protect them from voices that promise guaranteed outcomes if they pray with enough volume or intensity. Teach them the humility of real faith, asking, trusting, obeying, waiting, grieving when needed, and staying close to God without trying to control Him. Lord Jesus, make this prayer practical for the afternoon. Let it slow their hand before they check again. Let it soften their tone before they answer someone. Let it remind them to eat, drink water, breathe, and care for the body that carries their prayers. Let faith become embodied peace, not only a sentence in the mind. When doubt returns, give them a simple response. My prayer is before God. Not as a magic phrase, but as a handrail. My prayer is before God. My life is before God. This hour is before God. The thing I cannot prove is not outside His sight. Let still held become a confession over the middle of the day. Still held when proof is slow. Still held when feelings are mixed. Still held when the prayer is old. Still held when the answer has not taken shape. Still held by the God who receives honest prayer. Now carry this into the next hour. Keep praying, but stop chasing. Keep asking, but stop panicking. Keep hoping, but stop interrogating every silence. Keep walking, but stop demanding the whole road at once. The Lord is near enough for this step. And if this prayer belongs to you, write still held in the comments as a quiet agreement. Let it mean, I can keep praying without forcing proof. Stay in peace. Your faithful prayer is not lost before God.